Hi, welcome, Aries. I'm doing a series on past life places around the world. It was totally random. For each sign, I picked a few little tiles from that banana game, with the letters. And I put it in Google Maps. And for you, Aries, for somebody, this is really interesting. It's kind of a two-part thing. But I'll start with most recent and then go back, I think. And there's a little bit in between, too. You're a very old soul, whoever you are, not a shocker. But the first thing that came through for you that has some bearing on what you're going to do in the future, or what you're feeling called to do, or if you're just literally feeling a little bit lost, there could be some comfort in researching that culture or that place. Okay? So I got Lerna, Greece. But before Lerna, Greece, you were, wow. Huh. Resettled to France. This is a lot, okay? If you have a lot of strange dreams, I think it's because you've lived a lot of lives, and I think you've lived kind of all over the world, going all the way back, because this is talking about Neolithic settlements, Bronze Age building. Talking about the Korakou culture. Korakou. 2600 BCE. They were known for building kind of clay mound houses, settlements. They made their own terracotta tiles, though. They were famous for their terracotta tiles. That long ago. Mud brick over stone with stucco clay walls and a terracotta roof. And you probably know that you have Italian ancestry, because I feel like after they resettled to France, they resettled to Italy after that. But there is something specific about Lerna, Greece, or the Korakou culture. Hellenic period. So if you have dreams of being in some kind of old kind of mud, brick, and stone building, it's like your guardian angel wants you to know how long ago that was, how far back you go. And so I kind of pulled on you here before you resettled to France. Okay, and we'll talk about that too. So Neolithic times, here you are. And this is so interesting because I feel like in all these lifetimes you've always been a lover, not a fighter. But you've always been into sports. Like if there was any sort of being strong and powerful, it was all in good fun. And I think that got you far. I feel like you've always been charming. Because if this is who you are there, it's talking about someone who is kind and considerate and charming and beautiful and protective. So all the way going back to this, you have such a history. You have so much to use and call on. Even if you don't or didn't believe in past lives, it was all still with you. I feel like whatever the sport was back then, like you were, I want to say the Larry Bird, showing you my age there. I can't even say Kobe anymore because it makes me sad. It's like you were like the Michael Jordan of whatever the sport was back in the day. You were always a man of the times, is kind of what I'm getting. You're always kind of a man of the times. And you were always a bit of Prince Charming, kissed the girls and made them cry. I think you've always been a little bit girl crazy. Or boy crazy. But you've always been kind and loving. That's who you are. And I'm getting that you weren't just kind and strong and successful in whatever that sport was, but that you were innovative too. Like whenever there was an innovation in humanity, you were there. If not involved to cheer them on. Or you birthed the children who gave birth to the children who ended up inventing the modern automobile. Wow, that's pretty cool. The modern automobile. And you also gave birth to artists. So you birthed peoples who birthed scientists, artists, light bearers as far as religions go. And that explains it because you get bored so easily. The pattern here is uniform and regular. You are anything but uniform and regular, and you have always been that way. So, if there's a sense of real self-acceptance, it's because you know yourself. You've come a long way from this life, though. As with it as you were, there was a bit of, being sort of a baby soul, a sleepwalker. You might have gotten by on your looks and your charm. But you were always very lucky. Because you brought good luck to others. I think you understand cause and effect very well. I think you understand karma very well. And so after this life of being an athlete and eventually being a lover and a parent, you moved from France to Italy, to New York City, something like that. But as far as this Greek life, there might be some memories that come up and you're wondering what it is. So I asked about your parents here. This is cute, by the way. This is you. You were a love child. You weren't a mistake. You were loved. You were brought into this realm, this world, through a beautiful portal to heaven. From Angel Island, here you came. Now, this is where it gets a little interesting here. The man who is not anything to boast of but his illustrious ancestors is like a potato. The only good belonging to him is underground. Now, this isn't referring to you because remember, you're the earth angel. You come in peace. You come in love. You come in power because you light the way for others with a compassionate, creative sense where you just really haven't had a lot of enemies in your life. All of your enemies have been your family, from what I'm getting. And that includes the people that you were born to. Although they loved you very much. Oh, no, wait, I switched that. It was like this. Yeah. Okay, so. It's almost like you came back, and we're talking about being in France and then Italy at this point. It's like you came back and were reborn into your bloodline because your parents were screwing it up. Or like the family was screwing it up. It's like you were reborn to that life. Wait, is this France or Italy? France. This is Italy. Italy. Ah. Okay. From where you left the bloodline, whoever you are, this will make sense to you, okay? From where you left your own bloodline as a patriarch or matriarch, everything was good, everything was peaceful, everything was solid. And then it's like you dipped back in to be reborn into your own line in France to kind of check up on things. And you saw that things had gone downhill. Things had gotten out of hand. There was like one side of the family had been too tamed, like overly civilized, so that they were sleepwalking. And you had already passed that as an archetype for your bloodline back in Neolithic times, right? And so you're going, okay, wait a minute, what is this de-evolution here? And it had a lot to do with, believe it or not, substance abuse. Which, from what I can tell, wasn't anything that you had to deal with back in those Neolithic times. There wasn't that temptation. But it's almost like, you know how they say alcoholism is genetic, which I found that out the hard way. It's that. And so, you were reborn into your family to break chains, to break generational curses, because that was never the original intention for you, for your bloodline, for your children and their children's children. So being too tame, being too wild, being subdued, sleepwalking, you said no, no more. So what happened then? So okay. So you're kind of here to bust your parents a little bit. You know, if there had been a couple generations where it was just like, oh wow, yeah, no, that is not what we do. You are here in this life now, in your family, even if everybody hates you right now. Even if no one understands you, even if everyone's being cruel to you for no dang reason. Because remember, you're kind, you're considerate, you're a lover, not a fighter. You never have been. You might stand up for what's right, but you're not going to bring chaos into the room. What they forgot was this. What you're here to remind people around you is this. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. Alright, Aries, it looks like you've done some undercover boss investigation into your own bloodline, and you didn't like what you saw. And somewhere along the line, you moved from Greece to France to Italy to New York City. And if you're not living in America, you probably have family here. In one way or another, we're all family, right? But you're here to say, no, that's not what we do. Okay. So you're obviously an original matriarch or patriarch of your family. And what? Okay. It was really beautiful. You're here to elevate your bloodline again. Bring back a sense of balance, of earthiness, of charisma. Maybe it's just you've lost all sense of style coming over to America. You know, that happens especially when the immigrants get stuffed in factories when they got over here back then, you know. I'm kind of getting that. They got stuffed in factories. And the style and the grace and the beauty, it's like the Renaissance. You know, like the children that you gave birth to, like I was saying. The greats of the Renaissance. And there's something to be brought back. You didn't come with a sword. You came with more love and inspiration. And not do as I say, but watch what I do. This is how we do this. This is how we love each other. This is how we inspire each other. This is the right way to create wealth. This is how we follow the light. This is how we honor our ancestors. This is how you honor me. So it's like if someone came across you on the street, they'd see someone charismatic, genuine, generous, smart, someone who loves animals, someone who loves wildlife, someone who is a water protector or a wildlife protector. You love adventure. You're always up for the next best thing. So, I think that it might surprise people to know how powerful you are, how ancient you are. How did you die in that life? Okay. Like I said, you were a lover, not a fighter. And it's like you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And this is kind of rated R, you guys. I don't know. This is either going to make you happy or be like, what? But you died making love to your sweetheart. Like, you were always in love. I think whoever you are, wherever you go, you're always in love. And you're in love with love. And I'm just going to say it. You died between the thighs of your sweetheart. So, keep being a lover. It's like whoever you are is exactly who you need to be. And if people in your family struggle with listening to you, then it's their loss. Because you're here to take charge. But in this kind of amazing, loving way that stems all the way back from this Hellenic period. You've always been beautiful. You've always been graceful, even when it was just a stone hut. You were still innovating and creating and making the world a more beautiful place. All right, Aries? So maybe look into that if you're having dreams or if you want to feel at home. Wherever Lerna, Greece is, you could vacation there. Or the Cannes area of France, Rhodes even. It might bring you some solace. It'll be okay. it's getting back on track little by little. Okay, see you for the next one, Aries. Bye-bye.